Hey there, quirky people! Today we're looking at a potential Loki mystery that the series needs to solve, or else it will be deemed as a plot hole. After watching the first 2 episodes of Loki, we had several questions about the TVA and the multiverse. In this video, I'm going to answer one of those questions. Starting from Avengers Endgame, the MCU has established several rules about time travel and the sacred timeline. And now the TVA is enhancing our knowledge. It exists outside space and time works differently over here, as it was made apparent by the clock behind this clerk. It has multiple hands instead of just 3. Even the numbers are more than 12. Casey's wristwatch is also different. So it is apparent that in the TVA, time is calculated differently compared to the sacred timeline.
I told you time moves differently in the TVA. Come on, sit down.
Besides time, even the Infinity Stones do not work on this plane.
Oh, we actually got a lot of those. Some of the guys use them as paperweights. Some of them.
As Loki is taken to the TVA, notice how the Tesseract powers down after the gate closes. This foreshadowed how the Infinity Stones are deemed as powerless paperweights by the Time Variance Authority. Judge Ravonna Rensselaer revealed that magic powers also don't work here either.
Damn it, why would it work?
Magic powers. They're no good in the TVA, Mr. Laufeyson.
But the statement is potentially conflicting with the way Loki looks when he is brought to this plane. He somehow maintains his Asgardian looks and physique, and that confuses many people. So far, the MCU has had an amazing start in Phase 4. But the Falcon and the Winter Soldier provided us with a conflicting notion of its own. In Episode 1, Sam Wilson implied that he wasn't paid a big salary for being an Avenger.
Thank you, but no, it doesn't really work like that. There's a tremendous amount of goodwill, and because of that, people are inclined to help, which applies to the business.
But this implication was in direct conflict with what WandaVision showed us. Back in Episode 8 of WandaVision, we came across the revelation that Vision bought a plot of land in New Jersey. Director Matt Shakman confirmed that Vision was actually paid a salary for his services as an Avenger. That's how he was able to buy the property. So Sam's need for a loan became a potential plot hole. But we fixed this little plot hole in a separate video, so be sure to watch that on our channel. Right now, I'm going to provide a fix for the Loki Frost Giant scenario that also seems like a plot hole to many of us. If magic doesn't work in the TVA, then Odin's magic upon Loki should have worn off as soon as he entered their plane. He should have turned into an icy blue red-eyed popsicle, so why didn't he?
Yes, it's funny. It's absurd.
I thought you didn't like to talk.
Loki has the ability to shapeshift, cast as duplicates.
He's formed himself into a snake, and he knows that I love snakes. So I went to pick up the snake to admire it, and he transformed back into himself, and he was like, "Yeah, it's me!" And he stabbed me. We were 8.
But again, his powers don't work in the TVA.
What's going on?
Hang on, everyone quiet.
So we know that he wasn't making himself look like an Asgardian on purpose. And besides, it is likely that Loki cannot turn into his birth form on his own anyway. He needs an external touch.
This is absurd.
But this notion doesn't fix our little problem. To find an answer, let's track Loki's journey from the beginning. Odin found him back in 965 AD after he defeated his father, King Laufey. Clearly, Loki was a little blue baby, just like the rest of the Jotuns. But apparently, he was very small in size and Laufey was holding him in the stronghold.
Small for a giant's offspring, abandoned, suffering, left to die. Laufey's son.
After the war, Odin adopted the child and raised him as one of his own. As soon as he touched him with his Asgardian magic, Loki began to look like an Asgardian.
Took me quite a while to break free from your spell. Frigga would have been proud. Come and sit with me, Alan.
And he continued to look like that for over 1,000 years. But then the first Thor movie showed us that he only reverts back into a Frosty if one of the Jotuns touches him. Or it also happens if he comes in contact with the casket of ancient winters. But as soon as he loses contact with these icy elements, he reverts back into his Asgardian form. In fact, he didn't turn icy blue even when he pretended to die in Thor: The Dark World, or when he died for real in Infinity War. He just turned pale instead of regaining his frost giant skin color and texture. Even this has bothered many viewers over the years. People actually thought that Loki may have faked his death in Infinity War since his skin didn't turn blue. But the Loki series has shown us that Loki died for real in Infinity War. So Loki not turning blue isn't a plot hole. There's a proper explanation that answers why Odin's magic didn't wear off from Loki when he entered the TVA. In fact, I have 2 explanations for this. If Odin's magic was supposed to wear off, then it should have happened as soon as he died in Thor Ragnarok. But Loki continued to look like an Asgardian after Odin's death.
I, Loki, Prince of Asgard, Odin's son.
So it is possible that somehow, Odin's spell had bonded with Loki's body and found natural permanence. That means Loki can only turn into a Frosty if he comes in contact with one of the Jotuns or the Casket of Ancient Winters. But his Asgardian form is his natural form. It has been for thousands of years. He may be Laufey's son by birth, but his body has permanently bonded with the Allfather's Asgardian magic.
Will not dictate how my story ends!
It's not your story, Mr. Laufeyson. It never was.
That magic cannot be separated from him even after Odin's demise or when he enters the TVA's plane. This is one plausible answer. You see, the second episode of Loki showed us an all-blue version of Loki named Variant L1247. This variant retains his blue Jotun skin, but he does have his Asgardian leather outfit. So maybe he may have ended up in Jotunheim after growing up on Asgard. And perhaps he stayed in contact with the Jotuns, that's why he turned back into his birth state. Another Loki named Variant L6792 had a monstrous appearance. So different Loki variants can have different appearances. But Variant L1130 always retains his Asgardian skin color. He is not supposed to turn blue on a regular basis, even in the TVA. For the second plausible answer, I'm going to present a theory. In the Norse mythology, Loki is the son of King Farbauti and Queen Laufey. But the MCU has gender-swapped Laufey into a male. He is a male in the comics as well. But the MCU keeps making changes to the comics, and they loosely follow the Norse mythology. So they could make another change to Loki's heritage. We haven't really been provided with a proper answer for why Loki was smaller in size compared to the other Frost Giants. That raises a question in my mind. What if King Laufey actually had an Asgardian lover? What if the Loki variant L1130 is a Jotun Asgardian hybrid? When Loki was born, he could have acquired his father's blue skin, but the size of his Asgardian mother. Perhaps that's why he was a small blue kid. He was always meant to bridge the gap between the two realms. This theory might also tell us why Loki began to look like an Asgardian when Odin touched him. And it will fix the potential TVA plot hole as well. Loki being half Asgardian could be the reason why he didn't turn blue when he entered the TVA's plane. I hope that this question of Loki's true heritage turns out to be one of the revelations in the Loki series. What do you guys think about this theory? Does this theory make sense for you guys, or do you support the first answer of natural form? Let us know in the comments. It would be nice if you guys would hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!